Can they hear us? Is this thing working? Elon, what's going on? Why isn't this thing working? We've got 300,000 people in the chat. Why isn't this thing working? Thank you for coming to Ron DeSantis' 2024 presidential announcement. Well, this isn't Twitter Spaces. YouTube actually works. Today, I want to make one thing official, and it's definitely not Ron DeSantis' presidential run. But Silver Seekers Coin Guy says that silver demand has fallen off a cliff at his coin shop. And I, for one, could have predicted that like Nostradamus. That's the way it goes, right? People love to buy when the price is up, but they hate it when price is falling. That is, except for you, right? You stackers out there who've seen this song and dance time and time again are all about buying when the price drops. Now, we all know price isn't going to drop anytime soon. Premiums are going to keep it high, but spot price is falling, and that's usually the first step. We'll see how it plays out, but the fear and FOMO, again, right out the window as soon as price starts dropping. Then they change the narrative to something else. Again, if you missed yesterday's video, this is the Super Incuse with black rhodium inside the maple leaf. Very, very nice piece. If you are a stack collector like most people here in the community, at least some form or fashion of a stack collector, this has got to be somewhere on the wish list. I was actually surprised that some of you actually ordered these as well. They aren't cheap, and it's a pretty nice looking piece. Now, this is the backside. Again, some would say the less desirable side, but come on, they did a good job with the queen there. Necklace looks good, everything looks good, and again, black rhodium plating. Pretty nice piece. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. And then again, secondly, from yesterday, we have the burnished Libertad. Definitely a nice finish, especially how people are into so many people are into matte colors and things like that. This guy is looking good. Look at the design there. Looks good in all lights. Now, for comparison, again, to the traditional Libertad, again, big difference. Really, the Libertad has a lot of nice detail on the design, but that finish really brings it home. So if you're a fan of the libs, you got to get yourself some of these burnished Libertads. Now, again, yesterday's final pickup was a piece from Perth. You can't lose with Perth. Look at the detail on those rabbits. Again, if you don't know, I do have a rabbit myself. He is a character. But these guys here, Perth, you cannot lose. These guys definitely keep their value, always a collectible piece. And again, limited mintages on a lot of their stuff, so very interesting. But today, let's get back to what Silver Seekers Coin Shop said, that silver demand has fallen off a cliff. It's, again, very interesting how these things end up working out because, people like to buy things during the run-up, whatever it is. It's crazy. It's just like, there's a joke from George Lopez that, he was walking down the street with his mom, and his mom saw a line and told him, go get in line. And he's like, what for? And she's like, I don't know, get in line. It's kind of like that same mentality, that lemming mentality, that people love buying it when it's going through the roof. And then as soon as it's, dropping in price, they're not about it anymore. Very interesting herd mentality. But again, the same thing kind of happened after the silver squeeze. So if you're a fan of, buying things as they go up, myself, I was big time anti silver squeeze because I knew how it was going to turn out. But a lot of people were like, no, you're wrong. This is it. This is our chance to show the big boys and blah, blah, blah. Didn't happen, and it's not going to happen that way. Again, you can buy all the bullion on earth. It's a small percentage of total silver output. All you're doing is putting a smile on Dr. Tyler Wall's face and pumping up A-Mark and the other bullion dealers. They love you for it. Interesting side note. Again, one of my favorite channels, Yankee Stacking. I did see that his family's having some issues. Best wishes to them. I did see also that apparently his community is kind of upset that he's not making Tim content, which is pretty interesting. I mean, that's very interesting that your community depends entirely on content produced by a third party. Very interesting. Tim, might be the time for you to cut out the middleman. Just make your own channel. You can sit there and relive the 50s in real time. You can even put a filter. I mean, with technology these days, you can even put a filter on it so it'll look like you're stuck in the 50s. That way you can live it all up. And I mean, you could even, change the filter, Tim, every once in a while to like to make it seem like you're in the 80s. That way you and Reagan can relive the glory days. Actually, interesting note about Reagan. Did you hear this? It kind of fell through the cracks, but it's actually really, really interesting that the ex-governor of Texas, because Jimmy Carter is basically on his deathbed, and of course Jimmy Carter's presidency was marred by the whole Iran hostage situation, and then the failed rescue attempt. What was it called? Desert One. But interesting admission by him. I'm not sure if you caught this. That apparently him and Reagan had gone to the Middle East and basically sabotaged the peace, the hostage negotiations, so that when Reagan got in office, he would get the hostages released, and basically, kind of laid the groundwork so that it wouldn't happen until then. Kind of crazy that he would admit that. And when they asked him, why are you coming out with this now, because he said he didn't want Jimmy Carter to go to to die with that on his conscience, because of course obviously that's probably to this day still got a weigh on him. But that was really crazy. And so you think of the Gipper, and no one don't ever talk bad about Reagan. But yeah, and that just shows you, in politics, anybody and anyone, you think, they're one person, but, people will do anything for power. And apparently that's the case with good old Reagan. I mean, he had plenty of scandals in his own thing, and yes, he did explode the national debt too, so yeah. But he was a good orator, I'll give him that. The guy had some amazing speeches. He must have had a great speechwriter. But interesting times we are living in, especially with everything going on with the debt ceiling and all that. That's its own special song and dance. But here we are, stuck with our bullion. Something else interesting that I wanted to show today is this actually comes with the Super Incuse when you purchase it. And this guy here kind of lists out the Super Incuses, what they're about, what this one that I purchased is. And then, of course, you've seen I have, plenty of other Incuse maples. But the really cool part, if you're, a fan of the Incuses, check that out. So these are the ones I have. I have probably 20 of them, the regular Incuses, and then this is the Super Incuse. But this is the cool part. And again, sorry if I'm, getting you into something that's super high premium. But this is the lineup of the different Incuses year by year and how they look. This one's actually pretty cool. I've actually never seen this one. But now that I have, there's a problem, because I feel like I need to have that one. Now, a few years back, I was considering purchasing this one, this Super Incuse. Actually, couldn't have been a few years back, because it was only 2022, but I guess about a year ago I was looking at purchasing one of these guys. But interesting lineup, very good. I don't know why this is really appealing to me. Now, part of me hates it, because it's like, come on, that's 1 ounce of silver, like that's ridiculous. But the other part, again, is looking at it and saying, you know what? I mean, that's actually pretty cool right there. I'm not gonna lie. This gold Super Incuse, that's pretty nice. Is that gold? It is gold. That's pretty crazy. But see, if you buy something like that in gold, you better make darn sure you're keeping it. You're not taking this to the pawn shop, because your tire blew out and you need to, get a set of 4. No, stop. Bad. If you're buying this kind of stuff, you better make sure you have plenty of cash, because you better not be liquidating this, because you will lose, most likely. But this one I thought was cool too. Again, it's an interesting time going into Memorial Day weekend. We have so much to be thankful for. All those who served. All the different things that make America great. America's always great, even in its bad times. You don't have to make it great again. It's always been great. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't do terrible things, and we, may or may not have a sordid history. That's fine. Who doesn't? Who doesn't have dirty laundry? Show me the country that doesn't have dirty laundry. You're not going to find it. Vatican City? Did someone say Vatican City? Just kidding. But no, I mean, as we go into Memorial Day, it's an interesting time for, family and reflection, and for those who served. But as far as stocking, this time period is very interesting because, again, of the price drops. Look at the market today. The stock market, in front of, in spite of everything going on, it was doing very well with regard to going up in spite of everything. It's kind of a crazy time, and that's funny that Silver Seekers coin shop dealer let us know that price was falling, or I'm sorry, demand was falling at his shop, because I could totally see that happening. But I think in a time like this, if you're looking at stuff like this, it's the perfect time. I mean, at least to get your bucket list ready to go. For me, I already kind of pop on there every once in a while and make these kind of purchases because, I mean, why not? It's still adding to the stack. And I think over time, these kind of things, they're not making any more of them, so at least it's limited. So if you're putting your money into it, I have a strong feeling I'll be able to make that and more on the back end. So feeling good, and hope you enjoy this Memorial Day weekend.